In every thriving city, the Central Business District is a vibrant hub of energy and opportunity. In Gauteng, South Africa's economic powerhouse, CBDs are the backbone of the province's innovation, economic vitality, and cultural exchange. The history of Gauteng CBDs is deeply ingrained in the gold rush of the late 1800s, initially built to serve the booming mining industry, related industrial activities, and government administration. CBDs evolved as the commercial cores of towns and cities, designed to cater to affluent minorities during the apartheid era, pushing the majority black population to peripheral townships. With the advent of democracy and free movement, an influx of previously disadvantaged individuals into CBDs placed immense pressure on city administrations and infrastructure, altering the characteristics of these spaces. Poor urban management further triggered decline, spreading through the CBDs' physical, social, and economic fabric. Recognizing the irreplaceable value of old CBDs, the Gauteng government crafted a comprehensive revitalisation strategy. This builds on frameworks like Growing Gauteng Together and the Gauteng Spatial Development Framework, whilst driving sustainable growth in line with broader objectives of the National Development Plan 2030 and Operation Vulindlela. 10 pilot CBDs were chosen across Gauteng: Hammanskraal, Tshwane, Johannesburg, Roodepoort, Krugersdorp, Tembisa, Kempton Park, Germiston, Meyerton, and Vereeniging. CBDs across Gauteng are diverse centers of urban life, but face common challenges that undermine their social, economic, and physical potential. CBDs face significant social challenges. Limited support for homelessness and substance abuse prevalent in public spaces drive many visitors away. Influx of immigrants, furthermore, creates segregated enclaves, further deepening exclusion in spaces. Economically, once bustling business hubs are now dominated by informal, survivalist economies, with businesses relocating to more secure areas outside the core, and formal investments in the CBD declining. The social and economic decline is mirrored in the physical environment. Disinvestment leaves buildings, including heritage sites, in disrepair, with many sheltering the homeless or hijacked by slumlords. Isolated refurbishments fail to stop the wider decay. Aging and failing infrastructure, poor maintenance, and uncollected waste further degrade public areas, creating discomfort and danger for daily users. Informal traders are clogging some sidewalks and hamper pedestrian mobility, creating opportunities for crime and reinforcing negative perceptions of safety. Moreover, poor road designs significantly hinder walkability, and traffic congestion, particularly from taxis dominating the streets, makes navigation challenging. Inefficient and overcrowded transport hubs further exacerbate the disorder. Originally designed as business districts, CBDs now face an increasing demand for accommodation amid a lack of diverse housing options. Despite conversion of old buildings into residential apartments, shortage of open spaces and community facilities undermine residents' quality of life. Overcrowded buildings, often lacking essential services, further harm living conditions. Government-built affordable housing and government offices often stand disconnected from the urban fabric, with blank walls that cut off linkages to public spaces. In contrast, private developers refurbishing older buildings for mixed residential use tend to integrate better with the existing fabric, also incorporating community facilities. That said, some private developers also create isolated, pedestrian-disconnected, single-use commercial spaces behind high walls or fences. At the core of these challenges is poor urban management, compounded by political, governance, financial, and operational obstacles. A lack of coordination among government and municipal departments further impedes progress, leading to duplication or neglect. Despite sound plans and strategies, municipalities struggle to achieve tangible results. Efforts tend to respond to crises, focus on incentives for private investment, enforce bylaws through sporadic raids, or enhance aesthetics in selected precincts. Top-down approaches, though well-intentioned, often result in cosmetic improvements, failing to address deeper systemic issues. Day-to-day practices shaped by regulation and driven through fear further alienate the very communities they intend to support. The Gauteng government's commitment signals a new chapter where CBDs are not merely preserved as old relics or surrendered to chaotic informality, but transformed into functional, thriving, dynamic centers that serve the needs of all who call Gauteng home. The revitalization strategy seeks to tackle this challenge through a cohesive framework. Revitalization efforts differ globally, each shaped by a different approach to bring about change. Kigali and Addis Ababa's large-scale urban transformation is implemented through ambitious building projects driven by aesthetics and global image. Yet, a concern is long-term maintenance, leaving grand projects falling in disrepair. Though government-mandated participation in cleanup campaigns instills a sense of pride on grassroots level, vulnerable individuals are often sidelined and victimized. In contrast, Medellin and Bogota in Colombia prioritize what is often missing from grand urban plans, addressing the real needs of their people. They have embraced a social urbanist approach, undertaking ambitious and innovative building and infrastructure projects not for the sake of enhancing global image, but to genuinely improve the quality of life for citizens. In Cape Town, the Central City Improvement District's public-private partnership successfully addressed crime, cleanliness, and social support. Despite this, the approach raises concerns about sustainability without ongoing private support. Barcelona's smart city initiatives aimed at addressing urban decay led to significant improvements in El Raval through various technological solutions. However, this attracted more tourists, contributing to gentrification. Although AI is a powerful tool, context-specific solutions should be carefully selected to address local needs. Traditionally, strategies are built around sound objectives, pillars, outcomes, targets, timelines, and key performance indicators. And yet, actions often stall in the planning phase, failing to ignite passion and commitment from those on the ground. Building on the case studies as examples, the revitalization strategy for old CBDs in Gauteng embraces a citizen-centric approach. While many strategies typically take a top-down approach, focusing on buildings and what can investors do, and asking, what can the municipality do to attract more investment? This strategy emphasizes the integration of a citizen-centric component, asking, what can you and I as citizens do? It challenges all stakeholders to adopt a new mindset, guided by the A, B, C, D, E approach. A. Attend to basics. Prioritize cleanliness, safety, and maintenance as the foundation before any grand plans can take root. B. Break the silos. Encourage collaboration across departments for cohesive urban renewal efforts. C. Challenge the norm. Embrace innovation and flexibility by questioning the status quo. D. De-learn institutional speak. Motivate and connect with communities through practical, people-focused messages instead of chasing regulatory, bureaucratic targets. E. Embed sustainability. Ensure long-term resilience through shared commitment between government and citizens to jointly care for the spaces they manage and inhabit. Through the A to E approach, Grounded in the principles of social urbanism, the revitalization strategy seeks not just to tick boxes, but to ignite and cultivate a dynamic, living movement rooted in the community. At its core are three drivers. Your lives, our commitment. The first driver focuses on the government's role in laying a strong foundation for change, with 8 programs acting as a living promise to the people of the city. With these implemented, imagine the CBD streets where law enforcement officers are patrolling continuously, with consistent enforcement of a streamlined system of regulations and bylaws. Officers in private security have become more than just a figure of authority, acting as city ambassadors, guiding and assisting the public. Yet, even with the best intentions, the work of government is hampered by a silo mentality existing within its structures. Imagine coordination among government departments becoming integrated and seamless, ensuring that resources are maximized. Meanwhile, waste management is reimagined with continuous, around-the-clock collection through innovative solutions, keeping the CBD clean and inviting at all times. Infrastructure breakages are swiftly addressed with both immediate fixes and sustainable, long-term solutions. As we walk the streets, we cannot ignore vulnerable individuals. Imagine a place where the system supports instead of criminalizing them, with the focus on reintegration into society by supporting dignity and respect. Finally, public space upgrades are addressed and based on local needs. Improvements having a tangible impact on residents' daily lives in a local context are prioritized above cosmetic changes. My CBD, my responsibility. The second driver, with 4 programs, is a call to action for individuals to become active participants, to take ownership of their environment, and to feel pride in their surroundings. Through these programs, imagine citizens being actively involved in reporting issues, cleaning streets and spaces, and maintaining infrastructure, thereby extending the reach of government efforts and fostering a culture of care and vigilance. With the vulnerable being supported by government, it becomes the responsibility of individuals to participate in daily engagement initiatives, from community art projects to food gardens. This inclusivity weaves them into the fabric of the CBD, creating a safer, more welcoming environment where everyone truly belongs. Citizens and community groups are furthermore invited to contribute creatively to transform public spaces with pop-up markets, street art, and other vibrant projects, making the CBD dynamic and engaging. Buildings, not central, yet vital. The third driver highlights the significance of maintaining and investing in buildings and public spaces. On the other hand, it also emphasizes the importance to tackle fundamental issues like safety, cleanliness, and maintenance, whereafter private investment can be attracted. 8 programs target various building types. Through these programs, imagine a CBD where non-functional train stations have been transformed into hubs of mixed-use activity, blending historical significance with future growth. Heritage buildings, as valuable assets for tourism and social cohesion, are restored and maintained. A balanced and holistic approach, driven by government at the highest level, has been followed to address hijacked and abandoned buildings. This prevents further decay while supporting the occupants and respecting their lives. Building ruins, once symbols of urban blight, are repurposed for short-term creative uses while laying the groundwork for long-term sustainable development. The backbone of any CBD is its existing functional buildings. Incentives to maintain and refurbish existing buildings ensure that they remain functional and attractive, supporting a vibrant urban environment. With urban management issues being addressed, new private developments in refurbished buildings or in newly constructed ones draw people into the CBD, whether for living, working, studying, playing, or conducting business. The designs of mixed-use residential developments, both private and public, support environmental consciousness, respond to the local context, integrate buildings into the urban fabric, and enhance public spaces. The revitalization strategy calls for more than cosmetic changes. It champions a people-centered approach that tackles the real issues first: crime and grime. Once these foundations are restored, the focus can shift to the renewal of buildings and spaces. The strategy replaces outdated methods of control with a new ethos of collaboration, moving from intimidation to inspiration, from enforcement by fear to compassionate problem solving. Urban management is reimagined and no longer a distant, top-down process, but a shared responsibility that invites everyone to be part of the solution, instilling pride and ownership. It builds on respect, inclusivity, and citizen involvement, creating spaces that are not just visually appealing, but also vibrant, welcoming, and full of potential. In this future, every citizen becomes a steward of their environment, working together to make Gauteng CBDs more than places to pass through. They become places to belong. This is the vision, and it starts with all of us.